Inside every living thing on Earth, there is a molecule. It is 2 meters long. It is coiled so tightly it fits inside a space smaller than 1,000th of a millimeter. And it contains the complete instructions for building an entire organism. This is the story of DNA. Right now, inside your body, there are approximately 37 trillion cells. Each one contains a nucleus. Inside each nucleus, tightly coiled and compressed, sits a complete copy of your DNA, the same molecule, in every single cell, from the neurons firing in your brain to the cells lining your stomach. 37 trillion copies of the same instruction manual, all of them you. DNA stands for deoxyribonucleic acid. The name is intimidating. The idea is not. Think of DNA as a twisted ladder. 2 long strands wind around each other in a spiral, a structure called the double helix. The sides of the ladder are made of sugar and phosphate molecules. The rungs are pairs of chemical bases, and those rungs carry information. Not metaphorically, literally. Digitally encoded information. A 4-letter alphabet that spells out the instructions for every protein your body has ever made. By the early 1950s, scientists knew that DNA carried genetic information, but nobody knew what it looked like. Nobody knew its structure, and without knowing the structure, nobody could understand how it worked. The race to solve it was one of the most consequential scientific competitions in history. In Cambridge, England, 2 young researchers named Francis Crick and James Watson were building physical models, trying to work out the structure through intuition and borrowed data. In London, a chemist named Rosalind Franklin was doing something far more rigorous. She was using X-rays to photograph the molecule directly. In May 1952, Rosalind Franklin took a photograph. It was called Photo 51. It showed an X-shaped pattern of dark smears on photographic film, the signature of X-rays diffracted by a crystalline structure. To a trained eye, it was extraordinary. The X shape revealed that DNA was a helix. The spacing of the bands revealed the dimensions of that helix precisely. Franklin had the answer. But her colleague Maurice Wilkins showed the photograph to Watson without her knowledge or permission. Watson immediately recognized what it meant. Franklin's data had pointed the way. She would never be fully credited in her lifetime. On February 28, 1953, Watson and Crick walked into the Eagle pub in Cambridge and announced they had found the secret of life. Their paper was published in Nature on April 25, 1953. It was just 1 page long. In 1962, Watson, Crick and Wilkins shared the Nobel Prize in Physiology or Medicine. Rosalind Franklin had died 4 years earlier, aged 37. The Nobel Prize is not awarded posthumously. Her contribution to one of the greatest discoveries in science went formally unrecognized. So what did Watson and Crick actually figure out? The double helix has 2 strands running in opposite directions like a 2-lane road. Each strand is a backbone of alternating sugar and phosphate molecules. Connecting the 2 strands, like the rungs of a twisted ladder, are pairs of chemical bases. There are 4 bases: adenine, thymine, guanine, cytosine. And here is the critical rule. Adenine always pairs with thymine. Guanine always pairs with cytosine. Always, no exceptions. This complementary pairing is not a coincidence. It is the key to everything the molecule does. It is why DNA can be copied, why information can be stored, why life can reproduce. 4 bases: A, T, G, C. That is the entire alphabet of life. Every protein in your body, every enzyme, every hormone, every structural molecule, all of it encoded in combinations of just 4 letters. The human genome contains approximately 3.2 billion base pairs, 3.2 billion letters of 4-letter code packed into the nucleus of each cell. If you printed the human genome as a book, it would be 1 million pages long, and your body reads it, interprets it, and acts on it every second of every day. How does a sequence of letters become a living organism? The answer is proteins. Proteins are the machines of life. They build your cells, carry your oxygen, fight your infections, send your nerve signals, and digest your food. DNA codes for proteins through a system called the genetic code. A sequence of 3 DNA bases, called a codon, specifies 1 amino acid. Amino acids are the building blocks of proteins. There are 64 possible codons and 20 amino acids. The code is redundant. Multiple codons can specify the same amino acid. The sequence of codons in a gene determines the sequence of amino acids in a protein. The sequence of amino acids determines the shape of the protein. The shape determines the function. DNA to codon, codon to amino acid to protein, protein to life. Every time a cell divides, it must first copy its entire DNA. All 3.2 billion base pairs, perfectly. The process is called DNA replication. The double helix unzips down the middle. Each separated strand becomes a template. Molecular machinery called DNA polymerase reads each template and assembles a new complementary strand. 2 identical double helices emerge from one. Both daughter cells receive a complete, perfect copy. The error rate of this process is roughly 1 mistake per billion base pairs copied. Your cells correct errors in real time using proofreading enzymes. The final error rate after correction is closer to 1 mistake per 10 billion base pairs. That is the equivalent of typing the entire Library of Congress without a single typo. DNA stays safely inside the nucleus, but proteins are built outside, in the cell's main body. So how does the information get from DNA to protein? It is copied into a messenger molecule called RNA. This process is called transcription. The RNA carries the message out of the nucleus to a structure called a ribosome. The ribosome reads the RNA code, pulls in the correct amino acids, and links them together in the right order. This process is called translation. DNA to RNA, RNA to protein. Every second, in every cell in your body, this molecular assembly line is running, quietly, perfectly, without rest. The Human Genome Project began in 1990. Its goal was to read the complete sequence of human DNA, all 3.2 billion base pairs. It took 13 years. It involved 20 institutions across 6 countries. It cost $3 billion. It was completed in 2003. Today, the same task takes a few hours and costs a few $100. The human genome turned out to contain approximately 20,000 to 25,000 genes, far fewer than scientists expected. A water flea has more genes than you do. Here is something remarkable. Every one of your 37 trillion cells contains the same DNA, the same complete genome. Yet a neuron and a liver cell and a skin cell look nothing alike. They perform completely different functions. This is because different cells read different parts of the genome, the same book, different chapters being read at different times in different places. Development is not about having different DNA. It is about choosing which genes to turn on. DNA is not perfect. It mutates. A mutation is a change in the DNA sequence. A single base swapped, a section deleted, a sequence duplicated. Most mutations are harmless. Many are in regions of DNA that are not actively used. Some are quickly corrected by repair systems, but some mutations matter. A mutation in the right gene can disable a critical protein, or it can create a new one. Cancer is largely a disease of accumulated mutations in genes that control cell division. But mutation is also the engine of evolution. Every difference between you and every other person alive traces back to mutations accumulated over generations. Mutations are errors, and they are also the source of all biological diversity. The DNA code is universal. Every organism on Earth, bacteria, oak tree, whale, mushroom, human, uses the same 4 bases, the same genetic code, the same codon table. This is powerful evidence that all life shares a common ancestor. You share 98.8% of your DNA with a chimpanzee, 85% with a mouse, 60% with a fruit fly, 31% with a yeast cell. The differences between all life on Earth are written in the same language. In 2012, scientists developed a tool that could edit DNA with extraordinary precision. CRISPR-Cas9, a molecular scissors guided by a short strand of RNA. It can find a specific sequence among 3.2 billion base pairs and cut it, replace it, delete it. The implications are enormous. Inherited diseases caused by a single faulty gene, sickle cell disease, cystic fibrosis, some forms of blindness, are now being treated using CRISPR. We went from discovering the structure of DNA in 1953 to editing it at will by 2012. 60 years. DNA has transformed what is possible. Forensic science. A single hair, a drop of blood, a skin cell left at a crime scene, enough to identify a person with near certainty. Ancestry testing. Genetic databases now reveal family connections across centuries and continents. Personalized medicine. Your genome can now predict disease risk, guide drug choices, and tailor treatments specifically to your biology. The molecule discovered in 1953 is now the infrastructure of modern science. Step back for a moment. A molecule discovered through determination, competition, and one stolen photograph. A 4-letter code that fits in a cell smaller than a full stop on this page. That code contains the instructions for every form of life that has ever existed on Earth. The same molecule in a bacterium 2 billion years old and in a child born this morning. It copies itself, it repairs itself, it reads itself, it evolves. Of all the things science has discovered about the universe, DNA may be the most elegant, not because it is simple, but because from such elegant simplicity, everything living has emerged. And yet, we are still only beginning to understand it. Only about 2% of human DNA codes for proteins. The other 98% was long dismissed as junk. We now know that much of it controls when and where genes are switched on. But how it all works remains one of the deepest open questions in biology. The molecule has given us so much, it still guards its deepest secrets. DNA, the most elegant code ever written, by no one, refined by 4 billion years of evolution, present in every living thing on Earth. If this changed how you see life, subscribe to Knowable. New science explainers every week. See you next time.